Okay, so
Okay, good day, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the continued celebration of the Global Clinical Engineering Week. By the way, happy Global Clinical Engineering Day. I hope you have passed a wonderful day and celebrated in your own places. Today, I am very, very happy to present a seminar that will be devoted on the important project for most of us, the panelists here and myself, but also for the community on clinical engineering. This webinar is regarding the women in clinical engineering, and we have here a fantastic panel with four representatives of the female clinical engineering in the world. So without any further comments, I'd like to present and introduce my panelists for the Women in Clinical Engineering, Unveiling Success and Challenges, Women's Voices in Clinical Engineering. So my first guest is 𝗏𝗏 𝗏. 𝗏𝗏 𝗏 holds a Master's in Science in Biomedical Engineering from the University of Aberdeen, United Kingdom. She is currently senior lecturer at the School of Engineering, Ny An Polytechnic, and she has been a consultant and trainer in biomedical engineering in Singapore, Myanmar, and Vietnam. 𝗏𝗏 is the honorary secretary of the Biomedical Engineering Society in Singapore. She actively collaborates with the IFMBE by being a member of the Asia-Pacific Working Group, Clinical Engineering Division, and Education and Accreditation Committees. She is also the co-chair of the IFMBE Women in Medical and Biological Engineering. Welcome, Ben, and thanks for being here.
thanks, Fabiola, for the wonderful introduction. I must first state out front that I am not a clinical engineer by practice, mainly because in the Singapore context, the biomedical engineers working in the hospitals, they don't like to be known as clinical engineers. Okay, and especially those working in public hospitals, they tend not to voice too much of their own opinions. So my contact with them is mainly because many of them were my former students. I have been training the biomedical engineers in Singapore since 1994. Many of them are holding top positions, including biomedical engineering managers in their hospitals. So from that context, I have many inputs from them. And I also noticed that many of the biomedical engineers in Singapore, it's almost like 50% working in the hospitals are female, which is really wonderful. And even among the students I get for all the years, an average year I will have between 45 to 50% of my students who are female students, and they graduate, and many of them actually end up working in either public healthcare or even private healthcare. So I talked to quite a number of them over the years, this is in the Singapore context, and very fortunately for us in Singapore, women are not so much sidelined. So the glass ceiling is not so apparent. But I do notice that out of we have about probably like 12 public hospitals. And out of this, the biomedical engineering managers, I think there are only 3. So it's still quite short supply, and the men are still holding the top positions in many of the healthcare institutions. So I think we can do a lot more to promote the profile of female engineers in Singapore. Some of the feedback that I received from my former students, as well as those who are working as biomedical engineers in Singapore, have also expressed that quite often they have to take time off to raise a young family, and that actually takes some time off their career path, and it does have an impact on how well they progress in their career. So that's how I see it here in Singapore's context. And I think our plans to collect all these stories can be shared with the people here, so that they can learn from what other countries are doing to promote the female engineers, the recognition for that, and it will probably help them to move along in their careers.
Oh, thank you, Bec.
Welcome.
Thank you. Okay, I now will introduce Ms. Adna Softik. Adna has a master's on science in genetics and bioengineering. Her professional and scientific fields are genetics, genotoxicology, bioinformatics, and biomedical engineering. She's experienced in researching the impact of polluted air on human genetic material. As an early-stage researcher, she's focused on working of the field of biomedical engineering. As for scientific achievements, she's doing an investigation of artificial intelligence applications for the management of medical devices within healthcare institutions. She's an active member of the organizing committee of the International Conference on Medical and Biological Engineering in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Through learning bioinformatics while studying and working at the 𝗏𝗏 Institute for Biomedical Engineering and Artificial Intelligence, Adna has perfected her digital skills and is involved in various digitalization projects. Welcome, Adna.
Thank you, Fabiola. Thank you for beautiful introduction. And I want to say hello to everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, because we are all here from the different parts of the world.
If you like to comment something for beginning the opening, you're free to do so, Adna.
Just, I'm really pleasured to be here.
Okay, thank you, Adna. Okay, our next guest is another young and brilliant biomedical and clinical engineer, 𝗔nuva Morin. 𝗔nuva Morin is the acting president of the Biomedical Women in Engineering Bangladesh, where she spearheads a vibrant platform dedicated to empowering women engineers to overcome challenges, hone their skills, and advance healthcare. She also represents Bangladesh at Women in Clinical Engineering. A recent biomedical engineering graduate from the Military Institute of Science and Technology, she's actively engaged in diverse projects, including a survey on biomedical engineering education and practices in Bangladesh under the guidance of Major M.D. اشرف‌الزمان. Recognized for her outstanding work, she received the Best Student Award in the Digital Health track at the 4th International Clinical Engineering and Health Technology Management Congress in 2021 for her innovative telehealth platform design presentation. 𝗔nuva brings exceptional problem-solving, professional ethics, and time management skills to anything, driven by a strong commitment to creating a positive societal impact through her contributions. 𝗔nuva, welcome, and thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me in this platform. And I just want to say that I know you have noticed that I am unusually younger to become a president of a leading organization. And the reason behind this is the biomedical engineering field is very new in our country. As a growing country, it is a very new field. And I am the fifth graduated batch in Bangladesh. graduated from biomedical engineering. So it is our duty here to work for us as well as for other women. And WISE is helping me and guiding me from the very beginning of this journey of mine. And thank you so much for inviting me in this event. Hope for the best. And also, hello to everyone. It feels great to be here, working with so great and so grown women working out there to help other women. It feels really grateful. I'm really grateful to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, 𝗏𝗏, welcome. And finally, we have our last guest, Mary Vidal. Mary Vidal has a master's degree in global business administration from Centrum in Peru and Tulane University in the USA. She's also a certified clinical engineer, HTCC at USA. Mary Vidal has more than 14 years of experience in leadership positions in the healthcare sector. She is the regional manager of clinical engineering and medical devices, Peru, Colombia, and Mexico, the AUNA group. She's a professor at the Pontificia Universidad Católica del Perú and the president and founder of the Peruvian Association of Clinical Engineers, ASPIC, and former president and founder of the IEEE-EMBS Peru. She is a member of the StackMedEv group at 𝗏𝗏𝗄 and a collaborating member of the Clinical Engineering Division of the IFMBE. Lifetime member of Beta Gamma Sigma and member of various associations and societies like ACCE, AMI, FEPANS, among others. Mary Vidal was the AMI Fellow Class of 2022 and received the ACCE 2021 Antonio Hernandez International Clinical Engineering Award. Welcome, Mary, and thanks for being here.
Thank you, Fabiola. Thank you for the invitation. For me, it's an honor to be here. Good morning, buenos días, bom dia, 𝗏𝗏𝗏 I am very happy to be here and to share some thoughts and so personal journey that I will tell you later. Thank you very much, Fabiola.
Okay, thank you. As you can see, we have a fantastic panel full of experience, full of vibrant, full of energy. So, and representative of all the regions, or barely all the regions of the world. So we have voices and we have many things to say. So let's begin. To drive this conversation, there are 4 key points to begin our discussion. And they are related to our personal journeys that you may share, talking about the milestones in clinical engineering, your own career, your own experience. The other is the overcoming challenges, because it is not possible to think that everything is fine in the world unless in our professional career. So we have faced challenges that we have overcome somehow. So the experience on these challenges would be important. We also have something to share about our success stories for ourselves, or some for our communities. And finally, we are thinking of building a supported community, as we have doing so far by the WISE project. So taking from these 4 points, I would like to ask Beck to begin talking some of your comments regarding these points 4. So Beck, the floor is yours.
Okay, I guess you're referring to the things, the 4 points that put forward, which is like the personal journey, the challenges, success stories, right, and building this community.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, my guess is that I kind of accidentally got into this area of clinical engineering. It wasn't something that I set out to be. My first degree was in electrical engineering. That was like 40 over years ago in the National University of Singapore, which some of you may have heard of. So I remember, as an engineering student, there were only like maybe about less than 50 female students in a class of about 400 students at the time when I was a student. So engineering was not popular among female students. And I think it wasn't encouraged too. But at that time, Singapore was going through a transformation, and the government was looking at bringing in manufacturing and so on. So they gave a lot of scholarships in engineering. And I think that helped because I got a scholarship for my first degree, my undergraduate degree, and that started me on the path of engineering. I liked it all the time, but I probably would have done science rather than engineering if not for the scholarship, because all the scholarships at the time were given for engineers. And then I was practicing as an engineer for many years, and then I had this opportunity for another scholarship to do my master's in biomedical engineering. And since I've always been interested in science, so I said, why not? Since it's a scholarship given to me, so I went into the area, and I realized that I actually like it a lot more than just doing normal engineering. Mainly because of my interest in how the human body works, and even before I went to do my postgraduate program in this, I was already writing up course notes in areas like biomechanics and so on, because I was interested in that. I was actually helping prepare course notes so that people can teach in that area. So it didn't come as a surprise to me that when I actually did my program, and I realized that clinical engineering was one area that it's required actually for the industry in Singapore, because I noticed that most of the engineers working in healthcare in Singapore, they were just invited from all over. Like you can be a mechanical engineer, you can be electrical engineer, electronic engineer, because there are no biomedical engineers or clinical engineers. So they were inviting people from all these disciplines to come in and to work in a hospital. And I noticed that many of them actually don't have that background training, and therefore may not understand why they need to do certain things in certain ways. So when I completed my program, I actually wrote up quite a lot of notes for the practicing engineers in Singapore. And I actually started not just training my own students in my institution, but I also actually offered all this training program to the hospitals, and actually ran a number of short courses for them just to get them up to date on what they could do. And I find that was it made me feel a lot better that at least they get this background. And actually to date, I'm still trying to get the engineers working in Singapore in the healthcare to look into the possible career path of being certified, or at least recognized as chartered engineers in the clinical engineering area, so that they can always upgrade themselves and attain a certain level of competence in their areas. And these areas keep changing, because now with digital healthcare, with cybersecurity and so on, the roles have changed quite a bit. So that to me is actually a greater challenge for the Singapore context than the fact that women are recognized or not recognized. Because the engineers in the hospitals here, they will always tell me, we're so busy doing our day-to-day things, we don't have time to attend courses, we don't have time to upgrade, we're not really interested in doing more than what our daily work already required. And I feel that is a challenge, for both the male and female engineers in here. I've shared one of the success stories of one of my former students. I've sent it in, but I don't know whether Fabiola, whether you've said that. And this this former student of mine, she has worked for more than 10 years in clinical engineering in Singapore's public healthcare. She actually leads a team that manages the service and maintenance for both the clinical lab, for the outpatient specialist clinic, as well as for diagnostic imaging. Okay. And then after about 10 years of that, she actually moved out of the area and she went into areas like cybersecurity and IT. The integration of that, because that was a gap in the area and in the public healthcare cluster, and she actually went to that area. And subsequently, when she went into this cybersecurity and IT area, then she felt that clinical engineers, at least in Singapore's context, they are not well equipped in this area, and they have to pick up these skills as they are working in their day-to-day job, and there is a gap, and that's where they felt that okay, if people can work together, share their knowledge, it doesn't matter whether you're male or female, it will actually make the whole system a lot better. So she decided actually after that to go into training, and she did a wonderful job in the area. And then later she's now joined a private company. She's with private company now after leaving the hospital, because she also as a trainer, which she felt that it gave her a lot more opportunity to develop on a higher level for training. So these are challenges that we see in the Singapore context, okay, and we also see a lot of success story. But I just felt that in terms of a supportive community, in Singapore's context, people working in healthcare still work more like in silos. They don't interact that much. Their excuse is always time, but I just feel that time should not be always a factor, because when you share your knowledge, you actually grow a lot more as a community, and not just when you're working in your little groups trying to solve problems. Like, one group of people could be facing problems, say with batteries catching fire, and another group may have the solutions, to share with them, but they are not actively engaged in solving this. So whether in the collection of stories or sharing of expertise and so on, it would really help if they have some form of resource that they can go to. And I have been actively encouraged them even to just look into IFMBE's website, to WHO's website. But I actually have to extract articles and share with them. They will not go in on their own to look at them. Okay, over back to you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Beck, for your comments. Many things to think of. And thanks for giving us the scope in Singapore and maybe some other countries nearly in this area. Okay, now we are going to hear Adna, the perspective of a young, vibrant engineer in Europe. Welcome, Adna.
Thank you, Fabiola, again. Well, where I should start. As you said, I'm still young, and my journey just began. As a young woman from Bosnia and Herzegovina, I'm really privileged to be here and to be part of this panel session about my own journey with a master's degree in genetics and bioengineering. My entrance into clinical engineering was not a traditional path. However, over past year, I'm working at the 𝗙𝗏𝗏 Research Institute for Biomedical Engineering, Medical Devices and Artificial Intelligence, and I have fallen in love with the field of clinical engineering, biomedical engineering, actually. I've been inspired by the potential for innovation and the impact we can make in healthcare technology. In Bosnia and Herzegovina, as in other low-income countries in the world, clinical engineering is a predominantly male-dominated field. It is not so popular here to be a clinical engineer. The scarcity of female clinical engineers only highlights the potential and the opportunities that lie ahead. Embracing the unique perspective I'm passionate about, breaking the barriers and becoming an inspiration for other girls who might be considering a career in clinical engineering. I'm really proud to say that I'm the part of, or a member of organizing committee in Bosnia and Herzegovina for the Medicon and 𝗓𝗶𝗶𝗏 conference that happened in September. I had the privilege to, I had the privilege of engaging with clinical engineers from across the globe. Our conversations revealed the shared obstacles, unique challenges, and exciting opportunities that we all face kind of in this field.
Mhm.
This international perspective has reinforced my belief in the transformative power of diversity and the importance of women's voices in clinical engineering. Especially, we had the special session, Women in Clinical Engineering. The challenges here, as I said, there are not so many clinical engineers in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and especially there are not so many women clinical engineers. But I firmly believe that every challenge we face presents an opportunity for growth and change. Also, one of the significant challenge in the field of clinical engineering in Bosnia and Herzegovina is the lack of dedicated educational programs at the bachelor's and master's degree levels. Clinical engineers play a critical role, and we think that they should be educated very well. Lack structured academic pathways for individuals aspiring to become clinical engineers is really a problem. So I think that our intention to become better in clinical engineering should be started in the education field.
Thank you, Adna. Thanks for your
Thank you.
comments and your perspective. Very, very interesting to hear that and to realize the opportunity we have to make an impact, yeah, in the country, but also in the region. Thank you, Adna.
Thank you.
Let's continue with 𝗏𝗏, another vibrant young clinical engineer in another region of the world. 𝗏𝗏, welcome, and we want to hear you.
Thank you so much. So firstly, I would like to introduce myself. I'm 𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗔𝗔. I'm a recent biomedical engineering graduate from Military Institute of Science and Technology, Bangladesh, where biomedical engineering is a very new field. And currently, I work as a research assistant under my supervisor, and an identity for which I am so proud is that I am the acting president and founding member of BM-WEB, Biomedical Women Engineers in Bangladesh. So my journey in biomedical engineering is so well planned. I was always dedicated, always passionate about healthcare sector to do something for the sector. I always felt the urge to do something in this field. So I chose biomedical engineering for my major willingly after getting a chance to study in Military Institute of Science and Technology. Even though my parents wanted me to do something or do my career in the medical sector to become a doctor, which I have no problem with because I know I can, I would love the profession of doing something in the healthcare sector. However, I had the thought of dedicating myself in the biomedical engineering sector because I think if I can contribute in this field, the contribution can outlive me, and it can create a lasting effect in the healthcare sector. So that's why I chose biomedical engineering. And So now I'd like to share my journey in 𝗏𝗏𝗏. So we created this 𝗏𝗏𝗏, Biomedical Women Engineers in Bangladesh platform, so that we can collaborate with others to create a platform that empowers female biomedical engineers in our region, giving them a space where they can acquire knowledge, improve themselves, and gain the strength of unity to overcome challenges, as I believe that unity can solve many problems that sometimes appear as unsolvable. So in a developing country like Bangladesh, the field of biomedical engineering is relatively new, as I said, and recognizing the growing importance of this field and the significant presence of female engineers, we felt a pressing need for an organization that would work to protect the rights of female biomedical engineers. And also we can collaborate with decision makers to advance this field in our nation. So with this goal in our mind, we established 𝗏𝗏𝗏 in September 2023 under the guidance of my supervisor. And our organization is actively working to provide a platform for female engineers in Bangladesh. We are currently conducting a nationwide survey in the clinical engineering sector to collect data. As it is a new field, at first we need to know where the problems is, and otherwise we can't solve it, right? So the survey focuses on the potential personal and professional experiences of female biomedical engineers. And our aim is to identify the gaps in policies and professional opportunities. In some cases, female students studying biomedical engineering in our country outperform their male counterparts academically. I have seen during my study also that the female students are doing great academically, even sometimes outperform their male counterparts. So however, due to various societal and systemic barriers, they face challenges in their professional careers, which is not accepted at all. So our mission is to bridge this gap by enhancing policies and also providing training to empower young female engineers to overcome these obstacles. And as we are a very new generation in biomedical engineering sector, so we have to work for ourselves. I'm working for myself as well at this time. So by considering these Bangladeshi female biomedical engineers, in today's session, I would like to discuss about only two main challenges. So I'd like to say, firstly, the challenge involves the struggle to balance family responsibilities and a full-time job after graduation, especially in our country where the household works from cooking to taking care of the children, everything is taken care by the female, and also at the same time simultaneously doing a full-time job in a sector like engineering, which needs so much concentration, hard work. It is really challenging, I believe that. So this issue calls for societal and policy support, including the promotion of daycare centers in industries, as in Bangladesh, it is quite unpopular still now. So here I would like to mention that I'm a proud children of a working mother, while my entire family, including my father, has been incredibly supportive. I have witnessed the remarkable dedication and tireless effort of my mother. I can confidently affirm that I have never encountered anyone more hardworking than her. So we have to do something so that it become easier for the female working ladies to balance their personal life, family life, as well as their job life. And the second challenge is that industries are showing less interest in their female employees. So in perspective of our country, I have to say that, and addressing this issue requires an investigation into the root causes and implementation of corrective measures. Despite providing them with position, there are occasions where senior employees tend to disregard the contributions of a female worker in a workplace. So we have to mitigate this challenge, and we have to find a solution and reason behind this.
Yeah.
So, however, apart from all the challenges, I would like to mention that the field of biomedical engineering has experienced considerable growth and influence in Bangladesh over the past 12 years. The educational and professional practices in biomedical engineering in Bangladesh has seen an increase in graduate studies and an increase in the number of biomedical professionals contributing to the society. The society is finally acknowledging the importance of biomedical engineers, and they are trying to breach the gap between the professional life of a female and a personal life of a female, and also considering the importance of this field in our society. So these engineers played a vital role in the delivery of life-saving medical supplies during COVID-19, and also gender equality in this field has also seen significant progress with a high representation of women. So in our survey, the survey shows a positive trend with 43.4% of female students in this field, which is a huge percentage, and highlighting the industry's commitment to diversity and equal opportunities. So at this time, I think it's essential to acknowledge the invaluable support we have received from the Women in Clinical Engineering Division of IFMBE-CED since the beginning of our journey. With their guidance and support, we are optimistic that united we can challenge societal stereotypes and reform the clinical engineering sector, creating an environment where everyone can embrace their unique individuality. So thank you so much. That's all.
Thank you, 𝗙𝗯𝗶. Thank you so much. I'm very impressed of the advancements on the group in Bangladesh, and I also celebrate, as Mary does, with his expression. It's very, very, very impressive, and I really want to congratulate you, because being a young girl, having family now, having all of these struggles that we all share. I know what you're talking. Most of us were very, very empathic because we share this very same situation. And we will talk a little more with the challenges that you pointed out. But before, I would like, thank you, 𝗙𝗯𝗶. Before that,
so
I would like to give the floor to Mary Vidal, another very experienced and a leader in Latin America in clinical engineering, to share her thoughts on these key points. Mary, welcome.
Thanks again, Fabiola. Congratulations for your wonderful presentation, 𝗙𝗯𝗶, Adna, and 𝗏𝗏. First of all, I would like to thank all the women who venture to be engineers, because of them, we can now be bosses, managers, directors, president. Let me tell you a little bit about my personal journey. I am Mary Vidal. I am Peruvian, happily married, and a mother of two beautiful children, Rocco and Sasha. I consider myself a happy person, a commitment, and a passionate one. My purpose of life is to be happy and enjoy every moment, to contribute to a better world, and to inspire and impact positively in the life of many people. When I was a child, I don't have exactly a good time at the school. I suffered from bullying. It was a sad time for me. At the university, I wasn't exactly a good student, neither. I was more focused in living the life as a youth woman, going out with my friends, playing soccer, rather than studying. I remember that one semester, I failed all my courses. In that time, I felt I wasn't good enough, that I couldn't make it. But everything changed when I first joined to my first research group, the name of 𝗏𝗏𝗏 and later 𝗏𝗏𝗏. And later then, when I found and discovered my passion, clinical engineering. When I was a professional, I had the opportunity to work for free in some large hospitals in Peru, located in dangerous places. My first real job was as a biomedical technician. I worked in the National Institute of Children's Health. Then in the next 2 months, I had to face with the first difficult decision in my career. I was invited to assume a leadership position of the department without having enough experience, enough knowledge. I remember how my current boss in that time sent a letter to my future one saying that I wasn't not ready and it would be detrimental for the institute. Even though almost everyone was against that, There were two people who trusted me and believed in me. Because of them, I accept that position. I worked there for 2 years, and I managed to promote the profession and also made the clinical engineering department to be close to the general management and be part of the decision-making table. When I was working there very happy, I had the opportunity to work in a private sector in 𝗏𝗏𝗏. This was the second difficult decision in my career. Should I accept that offer? Well, I did. After 13 years, we achieved to create a strategic department from scratch that adds values to 𝗏𝗏, and it's part of the decision-making table process. We grew from being just me with three medical centers, 36 medical equipment with $1.2 million in investment, to be now in 3 countries, Peru, Colombia, and Mexico, with more than 65 people, with more than 25 hospitals, with more than 15,000 medical equipment and investment of more than $150 million. We changed the paradigm from being just engineers who maintain the medical equipment to be technology managers. We helped to raise the profession, not only in Peru and also in Colombia. We have participated in the implementation of 4 medical hospitals in Peru, 1 in Colombia, and soon there is going to be 1 in Mexico. We have raised the service level of the medical equipment supplier in Peru, and also we have a valuable team, a commitment one, that has a very purpose to the department, and they are my second family. What inspired me, what inspired us to work clinical engineering? We do not do it for the technology, for the medical equipment, for having the best infrastructure. We do it for the patient, because that patient could be my son, your mother, your family. If we don't struggle to get them a dignified and humanized treatment, it is worthless. We have to be the ambassadors of the humanization of the healthcare. So that is what I do in 𝗏𝗏, and I am very happy, but I felt that something was missing according to my purpose. I had to do something to contribute with the promotion of the profession in my country and also in the region. So that's why with some friends, we decided to found the Peruvian Association of Clinical Engineers. In 5 years, we have achieved to be more than 106 associated. We spread the profession not only in Peru, but also in Latin America, by organizing the first Latin America Conference of Clinical Engineering last year. We also think to decentralize the knowledge and experience by organizing some events, not only in the Lima capital city, but also outside this capital city. Also, we approach to the new generation. We have a mentoring program that it is very successful. We just finished the 2nd edition. We took advantage of all our collaboration agreement that we have with ACCE, with EMBS, and also we keep the spark. We are one of the most activity associations in Latin America. In my case, in my personal one, I haven't suffered from machismo or discrimination for being a woman. In my career, the ones who helped me, who mentored me, who sponsored me were men. Ironically, the person I learned the least from, who delayed my plans, blocked my growth a couple of years, was a woman, was a female boss I had. That is kind of ironic, right? Finally, I would like to close with some tips. First of all, everything is attitude and willingness. As Victor Cooper says, the attitude multiplies. I always say to myself, I can achieve everything I set my mind to. I can make it possible. Nothing or no one stop me. Problems are opportunities. I want to be a reference, and I want to contribute with a better world. Second, you have to have a purpose. What motivates you to wake up every morning and plan a life, have a life plan. Remember, as Robin Sharma says in the 5 a.m. club, normal people can achieve extraordinary feats if they can systematize the right habits. First-class living begins where your comfort zone ends. My family always instilled in me that talent doesn't have a gender, doesn't have a religion, a nationality, a race. We can all achieve what we set out to do if we want, we work hard and persevere. You choose how a negative event impacts you, and you have the power to transform it into an opportunity. You are in a control and how you approach a situation. Let's demystify motherhood. Although it might represent a pause in the accelerator for a few months or a couple of years, then if you apply that experience that you get with a motherhood, the recovery is not linear, it's exponential. Remember what Marie Curie said, you cannot hope to build a better world without improving the individuals. To that end, each of us must work for his own improvement. And also, as Mahatma Gandhi said, if we could change ourselves, so the tendency in the world would change also. As a man changed his own nature, so the attitude to the world changed toward him. Let's be our best version. Let's shine even more, not only by ourselves, but also to allow the access of more talented women to leadership positions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Bravo, bravo. Congratulations for all the success on your career and for being a role. I would like to say role model, but more than this, an inspiration for every one of us. And you have pointed out very important thing. Things sometimes comes to us in an unexpected way. And as you said, Mary, we may not be apparently ready for face the challenge, but I can say by my own experience that it is not the point. The point is if we feel with enough strong and we will feel enough confident to face this challenge, and if we do so, nothing is a barrier. So you have proven twice in your career. It's very impressive. Thank you, Mary, for sharing this with us. So we have seen four profiles of successful clinical engineers in the world. We have heard their stories, their thoughts, their comments on this important topic on women and clinical engineer. And we have heard that we may agree in something important points that we also talk in the last year webinar that we have in this regard. And it continues being the balance in the life, the professional life, the personal life, the aspects that as women we have in terms of having a family, being mothers, or having some other compromises that may not be in harmony with our personal or even professional careers. These things are not now a barrier. These are opportunity, as you have already said, and we are continuing working on this in our different fronts and our different contexts, but it is still the same situation that we have to face. No, here in the WISE project, we are wanted to give not only a voice for our community, but also have something on this regard, something about this. Now, the first step was, as you said, to know each other. We have a 25 group on the WISE project that represents all the world, and it is fantastic, but it is not enough. We have some calling for sharing the stories, the success stories and case studies. So far, after 3 callings, we have about 40 stories and case studies and success stories from all over the world, and sharing the very, very same things that you have expressed. We have also tried to develop this initiative visually, as with a photograph calling for contributions. It is kind of difficult sometimes not to express in an image what we feel and what we want to expose. No, but I think it's a very powerful mean to let the world know what we think and what we are doing. So this calling is open and invited for everyone to send their contributions. We also have been working on giving light of the achievements of our engineers, of female engineers, by sharing their publications, maybe in journals, maybe in conference, or even the reports and some other documents that are relevant to the community. And finally, working on our, it is not a white paper, but also it is a document that reflects all this working that we have been doing so far. And this document has to, the purpose to be published in a very important journal. So to make presence. So as you can see, and you have been part of this project, and you know that these activities are very difficult, sometimes difficult to manage now. But my question for you would be, what would the next steps in the WISE project to continue working on giving the voice to our female colleagues, to give a stronger presence in the clinical engineering global community, and most importantly, in the health care platforms in our countries and in our regions, right? What can we do from this side, from the CED, to continue helping this project? So I'd like to ask your things, your comments, firstly to Peg. This can you tell us what would you consider to be the next steps to the WISE project, please?
Fabiola, thank you. You have already been doing a lot to promote women in clinical engineering. I just think that the next, probably over the next few months, if we can share some of the things you have collected in as many of the meetings as possible, so that all the participants, whether male or female, are aware that this have been there and can be used for inspiring men and even women. Both are involved in helping to encourage women to be involved in this area and to continue in this area. Because sometimes when you meet an obstacle, you may give up and switch direction. So I think that we need to be able to share this as much as possible and get people to buy in first. So it may, I don't how many are there any of the other in this meeting, other than maybe yourself, who will be participating in the conference in India next month?
Yeah, we will have a meeting from the WISE project in India, and we have a special session also.
Right, I know. So it's a hybrid session. So
yeah, I think yes.
Yeah, so maybe we can use that session to start sharing some of this, and so that people are more aware to start with, and then the ideas will start coming in, I guess.
Okay, thank you, Peg. I saw the raised hand of 𝗪𝗛𝗏, please. The floor is yours.
Yeah, so now I would add on 𝗙𝗏 idea, which is networking. We can increase our networking of women in clinical engineering division with other organizations and collaborate with educational sectors where there are studying female engineers who are currently studying, or they are fostering their clinical engineering division. So we can collaborate with them so that they can know about us and participate with us and unitedly work with us. And another thing I would like to mention that the future of women in clinical engineering division in this world is the next generation. They are currently maybe roaming around to find in which field they want to work. So we can promote same education or biomedical engineering education towards the young children or young girls, and encourage them to pursue their future in this field. And we can encourage them about the prospects and possibilities of career opportunities towards them. So that's the 2 points I think can contribute to the elaboration of WISE team.
Thank you, 𝗪𝗛𝗏. Actually, the young girls is our objective. We tried to do something this year, but time went very fastly, and we couldn't achieve it, but it is on the agenda. Take it for sure, and thanks for your comments.
Good to hear.
Fantastic. Okay, if you may, Mary and Edna, to give the word to Narwin Tassin, that he has the raised hand before we can hear you, and then we continue with you, please. Narwin Tasnim.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, thank you, and
Okay.
welcome.
Thank you so much. First, I will introduce myself. I'm also working with 𝗙𝗯𝗶 in BFWeb as a general secretary, and I'm also working with this field for after my graduation. So one thing I want to add with the suggestions before two of the speakers have given also, that if it is possible, then some people in my country, if I say in my era, they know their interest or they know what they want to do, but they exactly didn't figure out that. So if it is possible, then WISE can propose some short courses about the things they are doing, or why a young woman will be eager to do that. So people like us or like Maureen will also be interested in those works, and they will identify their interest in this particular field. So I think that short courses will be a great help. And another thing will be that, as WISE is an international organization, so if there is some kinds of scholarships which will be given only to the persons who will be do great in this era, so it will also motivate the young generations, as we are targeting, and mostly we are targeting in our country the young generations who are trying to working in the field. So if these two things can be added, I think it will be a great working experience for them as well, and it will be a great success, I think, also.
Noted.
Thank you.
Thanks for your comments, and it is a very interesting idea what you have expressed, and we're working on this on the next year. Thanks.
Thank you. Actually, I'm saying what I will need in future, or what my types of girls like me will need in the future. So I'm just saying what the 80% or 50% of the girls are facing right now in our country. So if it is possible, then it will be a great source for us to achieve more and more. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, let's continue with Adna. So Adna, what do you think could be the next steps for the WISE project?
I hope. Everything that all of you said was really good, and I agree with all the participants. But what I would emphasize is that the changing the mindset should be focused, because we need to show women, female clinical engineers, not just clinical engineers, women in general, that they could be so successful in their private and their professional, or how would I say, they can have the balance between private and professional life. And all of that can be found as long as we are happy and satisfied with ourselves.
Okay. Thank you, Adna. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's very important what you said about mindsets. It's begin working. We have to begin working within us, and then make the change. Thank you, Adna.
Yes. Thank you.
Finally, Mary, I would like to hear your comments regarding this topic, please.
Thank you, Fabiola. What would I do is all that we have until now, all these success stories, success cases, I could organize like a mentoring program or leadership academy program where we can share with women that currently is working in clinical engineering, or the new ones who wants to work in clinical engineering, to share with them some tips in leadership, in management, in emotional intelligence, how Adna mentioned, to work with life balance. Okay, how can I be a mother? How can I be a professional? a professor, whatever. So it will be really nice if we can set up like a mentoring program, because we can share with this woman that you can do it if you work hard, if you persevere, and you can currently hear to success story that is currently working very good. So I think I would do that.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Mary. You're indeed right. We have the resources to start a program. I want to advance something on the webinar in next days of this week. We have a mentoring webinar because next year one of our projects will be on mentoring. But this particular point, it's very important because sometimes these topics are not covered in any academic program, and we have to learn it by heart, and also sometimes it hurts. So it is important, and it is noted and will be included in the agenda. Thank you, Mary. Okay, well, I would like to finish the session by reading the comments that we have here in the chat. Thank you, 𝗙𝗃 𝗏. She says, thank you for your amazing presentations. Thank you for your organizing this webinar. You are inspiring us all, and it's actually true. Thank you for your presence. Ledina Vicari also congratulates Mary and congratulates everyone. And 𝗙𝗯𝗶𝗶 the same way. It's great ideas, and take for sure that we will have to reality most of them. So we are at the end of the webinar. I would like to thank our panelists or her presence, to give us their time and to share their wisdom with us. Thank you, Beck. Thank you, Adna. Thank you, 𝗔𝗃. Thank you, Mary. You are inspiring us, really. You have stories that make differences, and will be sure that your success will continue, and I will be happy to not only to hear them but also to share them. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you to everyone to be here, and we will see you around during the week in other events. Happy Global Clinical Engineering Week.
Happy Global
Thank you.
Clinical
Thank you,
Engineering
Fabiola.
Week, Fabiola.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
It was so great
Thanks.
experience.
Thanks, 𝗔𝗃.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you.